Hey guys, now today I've got a video that will be of interest to all Commodore and Amiga fans out there, and to help me with this video I'm joined by someone I'm sure you recognise, David Pleasance. Hello David.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Now, for the uninitiated, people that might be new to the channel, may not have seen the videos we've done in the past, you had a very long, interesting career with Commodore, didn't you? Just quickly summarise your role at Commodore.
Yeah, quite varied actually, and I have to say, incredibly interesting. I joined Commodore in the UK in 1983, stayed in the UK until 1990, and during that period of time, I was made sales and marketing director. I launched the Batman pack, which really got the Amiga 500 selling in big volumes. Then I was promoted to general manager of Commodore Electronics Limited, which was the holding company for the whole of Commodore, and they were based in Basel in Switzerland. And I was there for 2 years looking after 37 countries, which again was an amazing opportunity. From there, I went to Commodore Inc., the sales company in the USA, in Westchester, where I was vice president of consumer products for approximately a year, and then returned back to the UK as managing director of the UK company. So yeah, 12 plus years with Commodore, and frankly, loved every single second of it, even the bad times.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Just how special were those days, in terms of your, varied career and life? How you held those days with high regard, I take it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in spite of the fact that the, the senior management at corporation level were always seemingly in a self-destruct mode, in spite of that, the challenges that we faced and the opportunities that we took advantage of meant that we were a highly profitable business in spite of what they did at head office. And I made a difference in every aspect. The countries that I worked in, and even in America, when I took over in America in 1992, we were not trading. We had no business in all the retail stores, and I managed to sort it out and get us trading again. So, yeah, I mean, every single day I woke up with a smile on my face, and I can't remember any time before or since Commodore that it's been that way.
Well, the reason we're talking today is you've decided the time is right now for you to write a book about your time at Commodore. Why is the time right now for you to write this story?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, after our attempt at Colin Proudfoot and I's attempt at a management buyout, which we were actually cheated out of. After that, I felt very bruised and battered, I guess, and so I kind of kept my head under the parapet, and I wasn't involved in the industry at all for several years, many years. And then come the Amiga 30 celebrations around the world, and I was invited to be a keynote speaker in Amsterdam, also in Neuss in Germany, and also in the UK. In fact, I helped to organize the UK one. And since that moment in time, there seems to be a revitalized interest in anything to do with Amiga and Commodore, which I'm loving every second of it. And I think as a result of that, I now realize that there is a massive interest. People, I think, deserve to know the truth. And I have to be a bit honest about it too. I mean, I'm not getting any younger. And in the last 18 months, so many of my musical icons have passed away. And a lot of them were my sort of age. And that's a scary thought.
Yeah, last year was
So
pretty rough, wasn't it?
it was a bad year, and it's still happening, So I thought, well, if I don't do this now, if I do not leave this legacy, then I may never do it. So I think now is the right time.
Well, there have been other documentaries and books released about Commodore and the Amiga in recent years, but what is it that really makes your book different from what's out there already?
Well, it's a very easy question to answer that one, actually, Dan. Simply because even though the books and the documentaries have been very highly researched, and they're very good products. If we take, for example, the Commodore book that Brian Bagnall did, he's a lovely guy, I met him, it doesn't even refer to the European market. And how can anybody tell the story about Commodore if it doesn't include the European market, which is where we were the strongest by a zillion miles. And I guess also my story is one from inside. My stories are true stories, things that actually happened. Many of them are incredulous. Some of them are funny, some of them are tragic. But at the end of the day, they're all stories that I honestly believe that anybody who's interested in Commodore and Amiga, they're going to really get a lot of enjoyment from, because they'll suddenly say to themselves, now that makes sense. That's why that happened.
And you're not worried about stepping on anyone's toes or revealing any secrets?
I'm looking forward to it. There are people that are going to end up with red faces, but the truth of the matter is, they damn well deserve to. Some of the decisions they made, some of the actions they took, are downright disgraceful. So I think it's time that the world knew the truth.
Well, there may be people that have heard your, interviews that we've done in the past, for example, and heard you on podcasts or seen the videos that we've done, and maybe think they've heard your entire story already. But there is a lot more for you to tell, isn't there?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've not scratched the surface, and I guess for quite a long time, I kept the secret subdued. I don't even really know why, but no, I'm. This is a warts and all, tell it all, come what may book, and I'm not leaving anything out. It's all good in there.
Well, you've decided to do this book as a Kickstarter that's been going under 2 weeks at the time that we're recording this video, and it's already getting such an amazing response, isn't it?
Yeah, frankly, I'm staggered. The whole point of doing the Kickstarter was to determine whether or not it was going to be a viable proposition. Because I'm not doing this for the money, although now, to be honest, I think I actually might make a little bit of money out of it. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it for the legacy that I wish to leave behind. But the response, I mean, we've been up 11 days, and we're already 25% over target, with 19 days left to go. And I've still got some really nice, attractive propositions to add to the Kickstarter to encourage even more people to sign up for the book. So yeah, I'm thrilled to bits, absolutely thrilled.
Well, there is still time for people to get involved in the Kickstarter, and obviously we'll put the links to it in the video description. But what kind of bonuses are there for different pledges then?
Well, one of the things that we're actually doing an exclusive Blu-ray interview, which will obviously will have some of the stories from the book in the interview, but hopefully other stuff as well, and that's fairly exclusive. We're just going to be announcing on the Kickstarter in the next 24 hours some of the additional things. One of those things is if anybody is planning to go to either Gamescom in Cologne, which is in August, and or maybe if they're planning to go to Manchester at the Play Expo, which is in October 14th to 15th, or if they're going to go to the Amiga 32 in Neuss in Germany, which is also in October, 28th of August. If they're planning to go to any of those events, I am making myself available for a one-to-one dinner with a number of people. Hopefully there'll be other guests involved from the Amiga world, the Amiga community, Commodore community. And it's an opportunity to come to dinner and spend probably up to 3 hours in very close contact with me on a personal basis. So I think that's quite let's put it this way, it's tasty. Mm-hmm. I think that's quite a good way of putting it.
I'm sure the wine will be flowing as well.
Oh, you bet, absolutely. I've never been known to, but the only thing is this: your audience need to know. I only ever drink out of wet glasses.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. So they know. And the other thing, which I think is really an amazing opportunity, and in fact that's down to what we are doing this recording on right now, Some of your audiences know, some of you don't know. I'm now working for a Norwegian company called Friend Software Corporation. And this video that we are recording right now is being done on one of our products, which is called Friend Chat. But not only that, I mean, we can have up to 8 or 9 people all on the screen together, unlike Skype. And the other thing too is that on our product, you can actually drag into our product programs, games, apps that everybody on the Friend Chat can actually share and work on and see it working online together. That's a very unique feature. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be offering people the opportunity to have a one-to-one friendship with me after the book is released. So when they get the book and they read into it, if there's any specific questions they want to ask me, if they're pledged, they can actually have a one-to-one with me. And it doesn't matter where they are in the world. The only requirement at the moment is that they need to have Chrome running as their browser, although we are actually adding other browsers to it. So by that time, it probably will be anything. But currently, it's for Chrome browser. And then they can have this one-to-one interview with me, 20 minutes or half an hour, and ask me any questions they want.
Okay. And now we did the trailer together as well when we did a little introduction to your Kickstarter. That was lots of fun. And there was a little moment in the video that a lot of people have been commenting on. That's when I brought a lot of my old machines in, my old Commodore and Amiga collection. And you got your hands on some of those machines, I imagine, for the first time since you helped launch them. How did that feel?
It's very difficult to describe, actually, because it's like the ultimate in nostalgia. Bearing in mind that, since the demise of Commodore, I've lived and worked all over the world. And as such, I've had to, by no choice, I've had to get rid of all of the machines that I had because, I went to the Dominican Republic and they have a different system entirely. I lived in America, lived in Australia, and it's all different. So I had to get rid of everything. So they're sitting in your office and handling, the things like the Plus 4 that bring back so many memories to me, even though the memories of that product, they were not hugely successful. They certainly were for me as an individual and my team, because we ended up selling the world's inventory of Plus 4s, and that's a really interesting story. That's going to be in the book as well. And I can tell your audience that that earned me personally 144 bottles of French champagne.
That's why you love the Plus 4.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, indeed. And I mean, the Plus 4 was for a lot of people, including you, Dan Wood, was your first entry into computing, as I believe it.
It was. There was one machine you told me to leave at home, though. That was this one here. You didn't want to get your hands on that one, though, did you?
No.
We'll find out why in the book, I'm sure.
Yeah, there is a very good reason. I just do not like the 600. It's a cuckoo in the nest as far as I'm concerned. But the story behind it is interesting, and I do think that people will understand how that all came about, and they'll go, tut, 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 should never have happened, just the way I feel about it. But it's something that people should know.
Well, why do you think even, to this day, even the Amiga 600 and the other machines that you guys released at Commodore, why are they still so special to people and why do they hold them so dear to their hearts?
I think I've thought about this a great deal, of course, and the best thing I can come up with is that we produced machines at a moment in time when the world's youth were demanding something to take them to the next level of their education, of their growing up. And I think the products that we provided gave them an opportunity to show their artistic talents, their intellectual talents, and certainly musical talents and graphics and things like that. And I think as such, we were a huge part of their growing up. We were a part of their family.
Well, David, when can we expect the book?
Very good question. My initial plan is I definitely want to get it out for no later than November, in time for Christmas. But I'm going to be working to hopefully get the book out by the beginning of October, because of the dates that we just talked about, the Play Expo, October the 14th, 15th, Gamescom, and others. So yeah, I'd like to try and get it out for October, if that's at all possible.
Well, the book's called Commodore: The Inside Story. Hopefully, we'll be finding it in our Christmas stockings this year. Thank you for joining us, David.
You're most welcome, and thanks to your audience for listening and giving me the time. Thank you.